Hello, my love. Good morning to you. I hope that this finds you well. I hope that you have pleasant thoughts in your head. I hope that they are light and joyful. I hope that you are well. I hope that you have room for lightness and joy and levity in your life. I hope you listen intently today. That as you go about your world, your interactions, whether with objects or with people, that you listen intently, that you hear acutely and deeply. I love you. I was thinking about being right later. And by this I mean, you don't have to be right in the moment. I found that I did not have to be right in the moment. I wanted to, and I had a desire to express myself and be correct, whether this was an issue at work, whether I was just having a convivial discussion with friends. I wanted to be right in the thoughts that I expressed, the ideas that I espoused. Be right later, I found, is the better approach. If someone says something and you think that they're incorrect, you actually don't have to correct them. You could listen and see where they're coming from with these thoughts and digest them and sit on them and simply not correct them at all. Very rarely is it an issue of life or death. We do not often sit around talking about breaks and when they will fail and give advice in such regard. And so sit back and be in the moment, I found, was much more useful. It's the corollary to not thinking that you know everything and actually listening and being present and open to learning things. And it was easier for me to, instead of just outright giving up the idea of being right, which is actually the goal, was to just allow myself to be right later. And then when I went home, I could mull over what was correct or incorrect about their position. But by that time, I'd actually listened enough to digest it and see it for its value. And it wasn't a question of who was right, per se. So, be right later. That was sort of the mantra. This one, as in so many things that I espouse, I tried to do them and was not always successful. This one was particularly difficult for me, though I did try and was at times successful, but nonetheless it was not always easy for me to keep my mouth shut. I learned better over time. Practice makes perfect, as they say. So, food for thought, but just a way to think about things. I think a way to think about interacting or not interacting so that you can actually experience the moment and digest what someone is saying instead of going on the offensive immediately, if at all. So, mull it over. Do with it what you will. I hope that you are well. I hope that you go forth with goodness. I hope that you enjoy yourself today, that you find moments of pleasure, if not serenity, of calm. And with that, I will again recommend Spanish love songs. Extremely poignant music. And moving and rambunctious, to say the least. And angry and many, many things. And Jimmy Corrigan, the smartest kid on earth. And with that, I will bid you adieu.